Hey, today on this episode of The Front, I'm going to be talking about passion, persistence, and perseverance. So stay tuned for episode 42 of The Front.
Thanks for tuning in to Lead the Teams, The Front.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of The Front. Thank you for joining me today. My name is Mike Phillips, and I will be your host. As always, you could please check out the website at leadtheteam.net for free sales tips, motivational suggestions, and leadership training. Also, you could cruise on over to leadtheteam.tv. Please subscribe to the YouTube channel there. And if you're interested in the audio podcast, just type it in the search bar on Google Play, on iHeartRadio, and on iTunes. And one last thing, whether you're watching or listening today, please participate in the comments down below. Share your thoughts and share your opinions. Ask questions, as often those lead to a really excellent future show. So today on The Front, I'm talking about passion and persistence and perseverance. And this is one of those things that came to me in real life inspiration. Because my oldest son right now is in high school football playoffs. And in the high school football playoffs, to me, it's one of those things. I start watching athletics, and I love youth sports. I coached for a number of years, and I just love watching my kids participate in athletics. It's fun. And on top of that, to me, there are a lot of things in athletics, especially youth sports, that parallel things that we do in business. And so, like for athletics, one of the things that I think is so cool about high school sports is the fact those kids are doing it for the love of the game. They're showing up to compete, to improve themselves, to continue to get better, to win. They want to feel the excitement and the electricity of the win, right? And sometimes, it's nice to win, to say that you're number one also. That's one of those things when you go on through high school. For me, and I don't want to say, well, hey, if I had it to do over again, one thing I would still love to do, I would love to continue to play high school football. I think it would be awesome. I mean, I'm well past that, but I would still love to. It would be fun. So I'm getting off on a tangent. Here's the thing. Youth athletics, those kids do it because they're excited about the sport. It's fun. And passion at its core is a strong and almost uncontainable emotion, right? It's all about the fun and the competition and getting better and just doing something that you love. And how does that parallel business? Well, hopefully you're doing something fun and that you love. I have a friend that posted on Facebook the other day, and they said, well, if this is what retirement looks like, you get into retirement as an older or more mature person, and then you get to relax. And it's like and quote unquote live life. Like, you should be living life and be excited and be passionate about what you're doing right now. I mean, that's one of the things that's crazy. If you're not, then go find something you are passionate about. And so just, watching these boys compete in the football playoffs today, like, you can see how excited and how electric and how fired up they are. The second thing I'm talking about tonight is persistence. And that's one of those things that is continuing through, persisting, right? Continuing through with a specific course of action in spite of difficulty and opposition. So it's keeping going. Where that's different than perseverance, perseverance is steadfastness. So it's that consistency in doing something. Because the persistence, you may have to change the path. You may have to twist and turn and approach things a different way. You may go out and you call that football play and you think it's the right play, and all of a sudden you got to call an audible. You got to do something else because you're going to get run, right? You're going to get run over. And so perseverance is that consistency to keep going and doing something until you achieve that success. And how does all this stuff come about? I've talked about it in the last couple episodes. You've got to practice, right? And you have to be as passionate and as excited when you're practicing as when you show up in the game. I remember some years ago, one of my sons, and so let me shift gears on everybody. I'm going to shift gears, okay? Because like I said, this is all still about passion and persistence and perseverance. I remember one of my middle son, and he competes in gymnastics. And that too is so fun. I mean, it's such an individual, it's a mentally challenging, mentally tough sport. And you're depending on yourself, yet you're depending on the other guys on your team to really perform and excel as well. So it's just a unique sort of experience. And I remember my son, this is probably 2 years ago. I think he was about 9 or 10, and we were going into one of his first major gymnastics competitions. And he says, "Man, Dad," he says, "I'm really nervous." And I said, "You're nervous?" I said, "You love doing gymnastics. It's fun. You're passionate about it. You're fired up, right?" And he's like, "Yeah, I'm excited, and I want to win, and I want to do it, and I want to do well. I want to impress you guys, and I want to do well for myself." And I said, "Okay, well, let's think through it. Think about this a little bit differently. So when you're nervous, how do you feel?" And he says, "Well, I get butterflies in my stomach, and my heart's beating faster, and my palms, they're clammy, right? Or they're sweaty." I think he said they're sweaty. And he says, "So it's just, I get all nervous." And so, especially sweaty palms on the still rings, that's not something that's good to have. So I said, "Okay, well, so let's take this and kind of twist it around. So if you think you're nervous right now, what are the physical attributes that you go through? What's the physiology, and what are the emotions that you go through when you're excited about something?" Because he absolutely loved to go to gymnastics practice and would just kill it, because he's just doing it for the love of the sport. It's fun. But when it comes down to competition, now people are looking at you and they're judging you. And I said, "So when you go to practice and you're excited about it, what are those things?" And he goes, "Well, sometimes my stomach's a little nervous because I got to do flips and stuff, and my heart's racing faster and I'm breathing harder, and sometimes my palms are a little sweaty just because I know I have to go and approach the next task." And I said, "So really what you got to do is you got to rewire yourself. Are you nervous or are you excited?" So, and he thought for a minute and he says, "Okay, I can do that." And at 10, you shut it off like that. And it's like, "Hey, I'm not nervous anymore. I'm excited, right? Let's go." And why can you do that? Because he knows he loves the sport. And so let's shift over to business. When you know you love the business, when you're excited about it, and you can continue to perform, and you can continue in your course of action until you win, you succeed, you hit the goal. You persevere until, right? That's that consistency. When you can do that, that's when it turns the nervousness or the crumminess of the day. You got to be able to rewire yourself and twist it around. And it's easy to do in business when you are passionate about what you do. So I would encourage you, just keep in mind those 3 P words. And like I said, approach your practice with that. I've talked about that in the last few episodes as I'm speaking to you out there. If you're tuning in, I'm talking to you. When you approach your practice, approach it with passion, approach it with excitement, approach it with that persistence that, okay, I'm going to go after this, and if I got to change or shift or move, I still want to hit the goal. And approach it with that perseverance that I'm going to continue enough, I'm going to continue until, so that I know I'll hit the goal. So it really functions the same way in business. And so, just think about that. And I hope you got something out of this episode. Again, passion, persistence, perseverance. Those 3 Ps, man, they will get you so far in business. You just got to get fired up and then keep going. So thank you so much for taking the time to join me for an episode of The Front today. I sure appreciate it. Remember, we do this every single Wednesday and Sunday. Check out the video episodes, the podcast I'm blogging throughout the week, so if you have an interest in sales tips and motivation and leadership, please cruise on over. You can read those and on all kinds of different outlets. So appreciate you. Until we speak next, I hope you have an absolutely fantastic day.